Hi, welcome to LEV8 launching, and then today we are launching on the Belonging Recovery Center. So, hello Andrew, and
Hi.
then thanks for joining us on the Pillow Talk. Just keep it casual. Okay, can you tell us more about yourself and then the role in KLASS?
Okay.
Mm.
My name is Andrew Tan.
Mm.
I'm the current president of KLASS. And I have been volunteering with KLASS for 20 over years.
Fantastic.
I joined KLASS after about 8 years after I was diagnosed HIV positive. My diagnosis was in 1994. And at the time, we didn't have much information about HIV, so everything was very scary. But after 8 years of hiding, my doctor was the one who said, why don't you join KLASS? And then that time, my doctor was actually the president of KLASS. So in a strange way, he was saying that just come over, listen. So I came over. I was a bit nervous, so I sat at the back of the hall so that if anything uncomfortable, I can escape. Then I found the place, it's a very safe space. Nobody asked me how I got infected. Nobody asked me, are you HIV positive? And people just accepted me as just one of the volunteers. Somebody interested in the NGO and wanted to volunteer, spend my time there. And I found it's a very nice, safe space. And so I started volunteering. Every time we used to have a booth at a shopping complex or an event or a fun fair or whatever, we would carry boxes, set up early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, set up the booth and then distribute leaflets, inform people about HIV, how to get tested and things like that.
To get HIV prevention.
Yes, that's right. But those days it wasn't so much organized like it is now. Last time it was just know about HIV, know about how it can cause AIDS. So because those days, and a lot of the language, especially in Mandarin, HIV and AIDS is described the same.
艾滋病.
艾滋病, right? So whereas when the more you learn, you realize HIV is just the disease. It's just the virus, right? The what it causes is if you don't get it treated is the AIDS stage, right? So a lot of people don't have that definition. For them, both are the same, right? Just learning about that is a very eye-opening. So it means you can be carrying the virus, but you might not ever reach the AIDS stage.
Correct. In fact, lately they are promoting about something called U equal to U.
Yes, I also learned about that quite recently because it was part of this prevention access campaign over in the US when the founder, Bruce Richmond, he was HIV positive for a number of years. Then when he heard from his doctor that, okay, he's virally suppressed now, he's on medication, and he can no longer transmit the virus to other people. So for him, it was a light bulb, came on and he said, how come more people don't know about this? That if you go on medication and you are successful in suppressing the virus, the medication is working very well. That means you take the medicine on time every day, and then you no longer have enough virus in your system to be able to infect anyone. Right? So if that's the case, what happens is that your partners are all very safe. So if you that means serial discordant couples can also have children. That means if the husband or the wife is positive and the other partner is not does not have HIV, they can still have children, and the children and the partner are safe.
Yes, listen, audience. In fact, if you were HIV positive, yet you are suppressed your virus, right, with the medicines taking constantly, you can even have children.
And that's a very, very good news. You know, and then that means you have no risk of passing it to your partner. You know, so more people should know about this.
Okay, what role do you play? Can you elaborate more on that with KLASS?
Right now, a lot of it is creating support systems, doing a bit of counseling, because there are still a lot of people getting infected with HIV. Except that now, so many years later, everything is on the internet, so they can find information very easily already. It's just that how much of the information is what they need. Sometimes when you go into the internet, you have too much of information.
Correct. In fact, some internet information even tell us that wrong, fake informations like you can cure HIV with traditional and complementary medicines. So it is important to have a organization that make aware and advocate people what is the right information.
Yes, that's right. Getting the right information is very important because what happens is that you don't want to get more confused, all right, about how to prevent and and also how to cure. That's words in close inverted commas, because when you Google search any cure, whether it's cancer cure, HIV cure, or diabetic cure, you get a lot of crazy information. And a lot of it is not proven, it's not actually tested. So everything that you read with a pinch of salt, because the thing is that if it's not from trusted authorities like the Ministry of Health, like LEV8, like KLASS, or the state departments of health or whatever, that means it's other people's opinion. All right. I mean, a lot of people can say, you eat this leaf and you're cured. But the thing is that once the question is, how strong is the chemical in the leaf? How many leaves do you need to take? Do you need 10 leaves? Do you need 100 leaves? And what happens if the leaf is growing in a hot climate or a cold climate, when it's raining or when it's dry? What kind of changes does it happen? You cannot just blanket and say that,
So having the right information is what KLASS is promoting and advocating.
Right.
Okay.
And at the same time, what we like to do is also do talks for anybody who's interested, like companies, other organizations, even students of medical students, especially from universities. Because the medical students, just before they graduate, it's good for them to be sensitized to HIV, because even though they are not focused on the infectious diseases, they can be working on kidney, heart, eyes, liver departments, or whatever departments that they specialize in. But eventually, sooner or later, they'll come across a patient who has that problem and HIV. Right? And so they have to learn how to manage, so that they're not shocked or they're not surprised, and they learn how to speak to the patient. So there's a lot of sensitivity there, rather than making the patient feel uncomfortable.
Okay, coming to the launching of LEV8 physical center, the belonging, because we are actually making aware that there are more people having unprotected sex, right? So then they are catching HIV. So then one of the trend that we observe is that people using Chemsex. How do you actually get involved yourself collaborating with LEV8?
Well, I feel that I knew about LEV8 some time back, and I met Ben, founder of LEV8 too, through some of the collaborations that we've done with under the Malaysian AIDS Council and with other organizations like PT Foundation and so the realizing the objectives of LEV8, we realize that it is actually very important because now the dangers of camp fun is a reality in the community. But the thing is that
in fact, in London, you have gone through a stage of pandemic already.
Many countries have because
using drugs and sex.
Yes, no matter what drugs you're talking about, too much of it is always bad.
Yes,
and whether it's alcohol, whether it's any kind of addiction, right? So when you talk about addiction, you have this whole long list of addiction that you name it, people can be addicted to it, right? But the thing is that a lot of the addiction is external, like watching porn or having a fetish or anything like that. But when you start to put things into your body, right, it gets a little bit scary because the thing is that once you have ingested it or you've used it, you cannot remove it out of the system, right? It's there for the run, and whatever you feel, whether your reaction is a good reaction, or like what people describe, or a bad reaction, you have no control over it because it's already in the system, and there's no way to remove it. And that's the scary thing because you're no longer in control, right? It's the drug that has taken over, and the thing is that it could reduce your inhibitions to do things that you would not normally do, and at the same time you would take risks that you not normally take, right? Like using condoms or not using condoms because of the situation that you're in at this point in time. You might just say, "Oh, screw it, lah."
Or maybe in the influence of the drugs, right? You might not be able to protect yourself.
Yes, that's right. It's more of a. I would imagine that it is more of a greater influence than being drunk. Being drunk, you might still be able to have some form of logical thinking to say that, oh, maybe I shouldn't drive, I shouldn't do this, I should wear a condom. But the thing is that the reality is that what risk that you take, right, that it's not easy to recover from, because what happens is that if it is something mild, like not being able to stand up, knocking your getting a wound on your hand or whatever, that's something that you can recover from, But the thing is that when you get addicted and you realize that you cannot live without using that, it gets a little bit scary because now the control has shifted. You're not in control anymore, even though you say that you are, right? But it takes a long time for a person to realize that they're no longer in charge of their decisions, and I have no idea how to help them. And when people come along like Ben and yourself, who know that there is a way out of that, I would say, please teach me, because the thing is that we need to be able to help our community, and a lot of people don't realize that they're already in that.
In fact, it's true. LEV8 Center, let me tell you something more about it. It is a supportive movement of the well-being of the community. And then it's a community health movement that concentrates on HIV and prevention, and yet telling people that there is a resource available for them to do receive counseling for harm reduction on meth addiction, and also for abstinence using drugs. Yes. Okay. Moving forward, right, Andrew, can I see that what is a collaboration project that you subcon or working in collaboration with LEV8 in this new launching LEV8 Physical Center?
Well, what we do is actually KLASS has always previously been focused on treatment care and support. So treatment care and support is basically making sure that people are taking medication and then giving them the support and counseling to continue medication, even though they experience side effects or anything like that. It was after 2014 when we started a project that started to get people tested for HIV, and also offer them prevention options like condoms and lube. Right. Eventually, that project has evolved, and now this project differentiated HIV services for key populations, DHSKP, has been expanded throughout the country. So there are a lot of more organizations focused on testing, getting people tested from the MSM community, from the drug user community, from the transgender community. So different NGOs are helping to get more people tested.
Yes.
And recently, KLASS and LEV8 has collaborated so that we also have a person who is able to do the HIV testing, the syphilis testing, Hep C testing here in your premises as well. So what happens is that at least in this area there is a fixed location. People can drop in and come by and get a test anytime. Just do your booking at
our qmed.asia/LEV8. And then we also have the telephone contact number for booking. Okay, looking ahead, right? What are your hopes and vision for the future of LEV8 Malaysia?
I would like to see LEV8 be more recognized by the authorities, by the people who are running on the programs. Because the most important thing is that you have individuals and small units, organizations that can do a lot better. But what it needs to happen is to get recognition by the people who are doing the funding, people who are organizing workshops and meetings, involve organizations like LEV8. Because when you look at the community, right, LEV8 is right there with the community, and they know what needs to be done. You can't be speaking to people who are sitting in Putrajaya all the time, right? Because they are not, unfortunately, they're not part of the community. They might not know what are the changes in the community on a day-to-day basis. What are the new challenges that happen? You need people on the ground, your frontline army, so to speak, to be able to fight this battle for you, with you. And the thing is that without the support of the people who hold the purse strings for the funding and everything like that, how much of this can be done on a voluntary basis, right? It needs to be funded. It needs to be recognized. It needs to be celebrated when people like yourself actually spend their own time and efforts to help the community, because you realize the danger. And the thing is that when you're raising the red flag, it's really good that people recognize that and see that and say, yes, we'll back you up. That's what LEV8 needs.
Thank you for affirming the action that we do and the activity, and thankful for being our speaker today. Okay, shall you have any questions, please write in the comment downstairs, and then do visit our website. Thank you, bye.
Right.